Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever vlog. I am here at Cape Jervis and I'm about to take the ferry over to Kangaroo Island. Kangaroo Island is Australia's second biggest island, and also if you Google what is the most expensive ferry trip in the world, this one comes up, at least on Australian Google, this one comes up, and that is because it's a short distance, only about 17 kilometers between the mainland and the island. However, the cost is very expensive. It's about $500 round trip to take a car and my family this time. So yeah, that is the situation. I'll now show you some footage of where we're gonna go. Also, my favorite beach in the whole world is just here, just on the mainland. So I got some footage there as well. And then we're gonna hop on the ferry and see what the most expensive ferry journey in the world is like. And yeah. One thing that I forgot to mention was that I actually forgot to film an intro before I left in Adelaide. So I'll put a bit of footage in of the journey from here to there, because there's actually some beautiful, beautiful scenery. And I'll just mark some of the towns I passed through as well. And yeah, here we are in Cape Jervis, which is, yeah, one of my favorite places in the world, honestly. And you can see just here, the ferry pulling up. I believe this is the ferry that I'll be taking in about 30 minutes. And out there, I don't know if you guys can see, it's a bit hazy today, but that landform you can see at the distance is Kangaroo Island. And Kangaroo Island, it's about 100 kilometers long, or a bit longer. So it takes over an hour to drive across the whole thing, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys over the series of vlogs what it's like. And here's the terminal, and yeah, a lot of people will park their cars over here and just come over to Kangaroo Island, especially if they have a house over there. We are just up from the ferry gateway here, and feels good to be on Kangaroo Island, having set my first foot here. Yeah, so that took about 45 minutes, and me and my dad, we were up on the top deck the entire time, and it was cold. It was super cold, super windy. It was very choppy, but I didn't get seasick or anything. And yeah, now I'm just gonna settle in for the evening. It's about 8 p.m. here. Have some dinner, and yeah, bring you guys some adventures from tomorrow, I guess. So yeah. Well guys, good morning, and here we are in Penneshaw. So down there is just where we got off the ferry, and you can see just up the hill here is where we're staying. It's actually quite a crazy location, and it's quite a small town as well, so it will not take me long to give you guys a tour around. So yeah, let's head straight on over to the main street and I'll show you what it's like over here on Kangaroo Island. Just check out the beautiful blue ocean as well. So nice. We finally got some good weather. A lot of pines over here on the main street as well. And so literally a 2-minute walk later, or less than, from the ferry, we are here where we're staying in this old little house here, and the doors are so short. I'm hitting my head. I've actually hit my head 3 times already on the door frames. Just check out the location here. Beautiful blue ocean. Yeah, it's just really a pretty little town. It's very nice. See why it's such a tourist destination. And what's really funny is we went to a little touristy shop and it said, remember, you drive on the left in Australia, which is kind of funny. That's how many tourists come here from right-hand driving countries. So there you go. Seems to be a bit of a sleepy town. I haven't seen anyone while I've been walking out here, but there's plenty of accommodation and stuff like that. You can see big hotel over there. Quite a few shops as well. It's very nice. Very quiet though. So the B23 seems to be the main highway on Kangaroo Island, Kingscote. We've been to today, so you'll see some footage of that after this. Just found myself some shelter from the wind. One thing that I found interesting is when I visited America, they had IGAs there as well. I always thought when I was younger that IGA was Independent Grocer Australia, which it is, but apparently also in the US it's Independent Grocers America, and they just like rebranded it, or didn't even rebrand it, they just kept it the exact same. Obviously Australia and America starting with the same letter, so it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I always find that pretty interesting. And now I say let's go check out the beach, because I've not seen that at daytime yet, so it should be nice. Hopefully we get to see some penguins. I'd love to see some penguins while we're here. That would be so good. Look at this beautiful white sand. That's what I love about South Australian beaches. Absolutely pristine white. And actually it's not too windy over here, so I can tell you that the water is just so blue and delightful, man. Quite beautiful. Look at the shelter. It feels like quite Pacific. Quite tropical over here. Despite having only 300 residents, Penneshaw is actually Kangaroo Island's second biggest town. However, I've been told that at the height of summer it swells to around 4,000 people due to tourists and people coming down from Adelaide. Also, regarding the wind, don't worry, vlogs 2 and 3 are much less affected by the wind. That's where we came from. We're staying up there on the hill. This is where a lot of the shacks are out this direction. A lot of the beach houses. So I was hoping that this dome would have like a seat inside of it. It's called Fisherman's Rock and it says 1803, so obviously that's very early in South Australia's history. Anyway, it's a bit less windy up here, so I might go sit on this seat. It's a very nice day. Actually quite glorious. How about owning one of these houses just up here? Quite nice. It'd be a nice place to live looking down on the ocean like this. And these rocks, I've heard that there's lots of sea lions in Kangaroo Island, so I want to find some sea lions and penguins while I'm here. Not sure if it's the right season. I'll have to do some research on my phone, but it'd be nice to see some, wouldn't it? Hopefully I can bring that to you guys. Okay, now we are off to Kingscote, the capital city and biggest city of Kangaroo Island. That is where about almost a half of all the people in Kangaroo Island live. And on the way there, we are travelling, as I said, on the B23 highway, which actually continues on from the mainland. And here we are arriving at Prospect Hill. Matthew Flinders climbed this hill on the 4th of April, 1802, and he named it when he did so. As I've mentioned, Kangaroo Island is 100 kilometers long, but there is a point at which the island is only about a kilometer wide, and I'll show you on a map where that is right now. And so I, in this clip, was showing you from this high vantage point where I was planning to do a straight line mission a la GeoWizard. So that is the plan, and I can tell you I did attempt it, so stay tuned for that, and that will be in the next episode. One of the more unique features of Kangaroo Island is that the soil colour seems to change every single turn you take on the road, and there's often a deep red soil, which you'd more often see out in the outback, but is present on Kangaroo Island and not elsewhere near Adelaide. So here we are in Kingscote. Kingscote has 2,000 of the 5,000 residents of Kangaroo Island, and we're on the main street here. Having to constantly battle against the wind on this island so far. Here's the Island Council. Australian flag flying. Right next to the beach. So I was hoping to go over to this jetty over here, but it's under construction anyway. Kangaroo Island Marine Adventures. You're allowed to be in the shop. Okay, we found our way to the Fisherman's jetty. It's much smaller, but at least we can get a view out over the ocean, a view back on the town. I don't know if I've ever seen a broken Stobie pole like this. Look how short it is. Didi, go stand next to it. Shortest Stobie pole I've ever seen. I can't even be 3 meters. It's broken at the top. Here's the Kangaroo Island Hospital. You can see they're flying the Australian flag, the Torres Strait Islander flag, and the Aboriginal flag of Australia. The Torres Strait Island's in above Queensland, but they're considered like a separate entity, separate group of people, so they get their own flag a lot of times in Australian places like this. So you can see all 3 flags flying next to each other. And there's the hospital. Here's a COVID-19 testing clinic. Nowhere safe, huh? I wonder how many cases KI has. If I can find it, I'll flash it up on screen. Here's an island resort. Doesn't look all that nice, to be fair. You can see here that the petrol is actually almost $2 a litre, and that is much more expensive than what it is on the Australian mainland right now. I'll flash up the conversions, but yeah, they don't have a petrol line here, so they have to bring it all over on tankers, and obviously that increases costs and whatnot. This is pretty much as busy as it gets on KI, I imagine. Centre of town. It's quite nice though, I like Kingscote. So here's the main shopping centre. I kind of presumed that everything would be really expensive because it's on the island, but the prices were not too bad. I overheard a funny conversation. One guy was like, "Oh, why do you got like a month's worth of stuff inside your cart there?" And the other guy's like, "Oh, well, I live way out west." Well, yeah, Kingscote's on the east side of the island, and so I guess people would want to come and shop here. And if you live all the way out west, then that kind of makes sense, I guess. So I found that kind of funny. There are actually some really cool forests in Kangaroo Island, especially this one, which you see as you come in and out of Penneshaw, is really, really nice. I like the tree cover. And as you can see here, a beautiful little panorama of Penneshaw, and yeah, it's really nice how it's up on a hill. I think it looks really nice from a distance. Okay, so we were just eating dinner outside our house, and 2 people walked past and said they've seen some penguins, so let us see if they are right. So we're going to go down the penguin walk now and see. So apparently they've got these little holes like the one I'm pointing to where the penguins go to live, but there are none out there this evening, so we'll have to come back and find some another day. Well guys, that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching all the way till the end, and there's plenty more fun to be had on Kangaroo Island, so like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll have to find those penguins and do a bunch of other stuff, go to the national parks and all that kind of thing. And yeah, thank you very much for watching again, and see you next time from sunny and gorgeous Kangaroo Island.